This video is sponsored by Pet Life Radio, the #1 pet podcast and radio network, featuring weekly pet-related talk shows hosted by the most well-known pet experts, authors, radio, and TV personalities in the world of animals and pets. PetLifeRadio.com. Let's talk pets.
Hey guys, thanks once again for checking out another one of our videos. On the table here we have TJ. We filmed TJ earlier in an earlier video. I forget which one it was, but TJ is obviously, he's an older dog. He's a veteran dog. He's a very, very sweet dog, but we thought that we would demonstrate how to be careful as far as hitting these spots here. As you can see, he just has a lot of age growths and age spots that they're very, very common with older dogs, but it can make the grooming a bit of a challenge, especially when you're giving a haircut, because you want to be very, very careful not to hit the spots with the corners of the snap-on comb or even the brush. You don't want to gash these things open, and when they have a lot of them, it's just the likelihood of that happening is very, very high. So we want to try to be as safe as possible, so that we're not doing that, and now the poor old dog has to deal with an infection and things like that. But again, with that being said, though, I think it's very, very important that you know your dogs. You have to inspect your dogs. If it's a new dog, it's a first time client or something like that, you really have to inspect your dogs, especially if it's an older dog. And even if it's a dog that you've been grooming for a very long time, a growth could develop in between from one grooming to the next. So with that being said, though, we're going to do a snap-on comb. We're using a 1.5 snap-on comb with TJ, and we're going to try to be very, very careful, and I'm going to show you what we do to avoid hitting anything and gashing anything open. It's the last thing we want happening here. Okay guys, so with that being said, let's get started. So guys, even when we were brushing TJ out and for the fluff try, what we wanted to do was we really kind of wanted to separate the coat and be very, very careful with the bristles. You don't want to hit any of this stuff, and brush very, very lightly. You want to be kind of very, very gentle and comb around things. And even with your comb here, you want to be very, very gentle and kind of know exactly where your growths are. So we're kind of fluffing that out. So we're just separating here. We're separating, and we're just avoiding any kind of contact. You really have to finesse this, guys. Just kind of doing that. All right, so we're just kind of fluffing this up now. Okay. Kind of just placing and brushing, as opposed to doing this. You don't want to do this. Okay guys, so what we really, really want to be careful with here is, you can see how pointy these snap-on combs are. If you hit that growth the wrong way, you're going to pop it right open. So you really want to be very, very careful with that. And what we're going to do is we're going to kind of do like a little lift. We're not going to go at the coat head on like that, or dig too deep. So this is what we're going to do. We're just kind of from up top here like this, and kind of just make some clearance so that we could actually see a little bit better. And what I'm kind of doing here is not even placing the snap-on comb directly on the coat, kind of like levitating it a little bit, going over those growths very, very slowly. You see, I don't want to hit them. I don't want to hit them with the corner at all. So even over here, we have this growth right here, right? Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm kind of lifting up and over it, making sure I'm going over it with it and not digging in too deep. But we're kind of like going over it just like that. You see? Like a speed bump. Just go over it. There you go. And over here, see that? Okay, so we just have to know where things are. Know where things are. This way you can avoid any contact with it. And, it's important to go slowly too. You don't want to go too fast. And you want to be aware. Grooming is so important because you don't want to be. People accuse me of not answering my phone sometimes. It's like, listen, I'm doing something so tedious here. I'm not going to answer my phone while I'm doing something so tedious, and I have to be careful. I look at it as, listen, I wouldn't call up a surgeon while he's doing surgery. I know I'm no surgeon or anything like that, but it's very, very important that as groomers, we stay focused. We stay very, very focused. You can't try not to multitask too much when you're dog grooming, especially when you're doing something like this, because it's just not worth it. You don't want to hurt the dog. But right there, you can see how we're just getting all that done. We're not hitting anything. And we're being very, very careful. The last thing TJ needs right now is an infection. The last thing you want to do is you don't want to gash him open. The last thing you want is to have to explain to the owner, I just popped open one of his growths and now he needs to be seen by the vet and all of that. And here, there's no growths on top here, so I can kind of go a little bit more freely. There's one right here, so what I'm doing again is just kind of real slow and over. You have to really finesse it and go slowly. It's another reason why, guys, try not to overbook yourselves. Know what dogs you have. Anytime we get TJ in, to be honest with you, man, I try not to book too much, even if it's, listen, you take a little bit less money, who cares? I don't want to hurt the dog. I want to be able to work slowly and comfortably. And here, once you do that initial clearance there, now you can see better. Now you can see where they are, and it's a little bit easier to be careful. He's got another one like right in here. You see that right there? So because I know TJ, I know that I got to be real careful right there. If you come across it too hard or too fast, you're gonna pop it right open. And what I'm doing also too is I'm trying to leave, like you see this hair right here, I don't want to expose it too much. So just by leaving a little bit of hair, you're kind of camouflaging it too, so that he looks nice. You don't want to try to expose this stuff too much. You want to leave some hair there so that it covers it up, and he still looks good at the end of the grooming. But you know what, guys, that's about it. Just another safety tip. If you guys have this issue, if you're doing a lot of veteran dogs, please be careful with your snap-on combs. Work slowly, lift the comb up so then you're going up and over like we demonstrated. And again, so that you're just not you're not opening up a dog and causing more of a problem because the dog came in for grooming. And it does happen sometimes, but try to be careful. With that being said, guys, thank you so much. Please like, share, subscribe, like us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. As always, guys, please listen to our radio show. It's called Groomer Humor. We're going to leave that link right down below. On behalf of me and Anthony, thanks again for checking us out.